Have you ever sat down at the end of the day and realized you did a lot of stuff, but none of it actually mattered? I've been there. Endless scrolling, busy work, random tasks that feel productive but don't move you anywhere. It's exhausting. And honestly, it's kind of depressing. Today, I want to share how I finally stopped wasting time on things that don't matter. Not just get more done, but actually feel like my life is moving forward. The first step sounds almost too simple. You just have to notice what's wasting your time. But here's the thing, it's actually much harder than it seems because most of our time wasters don't look like slacking off. For me, it was the little things that bled me dry. It was the doom scrolling on TikTok that turned 10 minutes into 2 hours. It was the constant need to reply to emails that didn't actually need a response. I'd even find myself deep in some online fortune teller rabbit hole, looking for answers about my future while my actual present was slipping away. I was saying yes to projects and people I didn't even care about, just to feel useful. In the moment, it didn't feel bad. In fact, it felt like I was being incredibly productive. But when I looked back, hours had disappeared, weeks had vanished, months were gone, and my actual goals, they were barely touched. I was running a marathon on a treadmill. So, here's the trick to breaking that cycle. Start noticing the patterns. Keep a small, messy note on your phone. Every single time you catch yourself feeling busy, stop and ask yourself two uncomfortable questions. Does this actually matter? Is this helping me move even 1 inch closer to the life I actually want? If the answer is no, then you've just found exactly where your future is leaking out. Once you've actually noticed those time wasters, you have to be brave enough to cut them out. But listen, I'm not talking about going cold turkey or throwing your phone in a lake. That almost always backfires. You end up right back where you started, feeling even more defeated. Instead, start small. Start by turning off those non essential notifications that treat your attention like a 24/7 buffet. Delete the one app that steals your focus the most. Set real hard boundaries on what you will and won't engage with during your peak hours. Let me give you a personal example of how bad it was for me. I used to be the person who checked every single message the literal second it came in. It was a constant cycle of anxiety and distraction. I had zero focus because I was living in everyone else's inbox. So I tried something different. I started scheduling message time, just 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night to catch up. That was it. And honestly, the world didn't end. But suddenly, I had hours of mental space I didn't even realize I was missing. See, cutting out the noise doesn't just free up your schedule, it frees your brain. Now comes the part people skip, deciding what actually matters. See, we have been lied to. We've been told that more is better. But the truth? It is about doing less, but better. I had to stop and ask myself some uncomfortable questions, like which of my habits actually made me feel better, and which ones just made me feel busy. Which tasks are actually moving and pushing me towards my goals, my growth, and my happiness, and which ones are just noise? For me, the answer changed everything. It meant reclaiming my mornings for learning. It meant saving my evenings for the creative work I actually care about. And honestly, it meant saying no to the social stuff that was just draining my battery. The difference wasn't just productivity, it was energy. It was focus. It was finally having a real sense of purpose when I woke up. And look, you don't have to flip your whole life overnight. Small changes are where the magic happens. It's choosing 20 minutes of reading over 20 minutes of scrolling. It's planning your day the night before so you don't wake up in a fog. It's choosing one meaningful task instead of 10 meaningless ones. Here's the hard truth nobody tells you. Your brain is going to resist this. At first, it's going to feel wrong. You'll feel that heavy hit of guilt for ignoring those non-urgent emails, for skipping the hangouts that don't serve you, or for finally, stopping the hunt to keep up with every single trend. Trust me, I felt it too. I felt like I was falling behind, like I was becoming boring or out of the loop. But here's the thing you have to realize. You aren't being selfish. You're being intentional. Every single time you choose what actually matters over what's just loud, you're making a massive investment in yourself. And just like any good investment, that focus compounds. It builds a version of you that isn't constantly reactive to the world's demands. There was one simple mindset shift that changed everything for me. Instead of thinking, I'm missing out on this, I started telling myself, I am finally showing up for the life I actually want. That one tiny change in perspective turned every no from something scary into something empowering. It wasn't about what I was losing anymore. It was about everything I was finally gaining. So, let's bring this all home. Let's recap exactly how we're going to stop the drift and start the climb. First, you've got to notice where your time is actually going. No judgment, just total honesty with yourself about what's actually wasting your day. Second, cut out the noise, the endless notifications, the apps that eat your hours, the distractions that don't belong in your space. Third, focus on what actually moves you forward. Not 10 things, just one meaningful task at a time. And fourth, accept the resistance. When that guilt or FOMO kicks in, remember, that's just the sound of you choosing your life intentionally. I want you to try something tonight. Just one thing. Pick one time-wasting habit, just one, and replace it with something small but deeply meaningful. Even 15 minutes of focused work or genuine rest can completely shift the energy of your entire day. It's time to stop drifting and start choosing, because the life you actually want isn't built by doing more. It's built by doing what actually matters. Let's stop being busy and start being intentional. Let's improve together. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share it to your friends. Any support from you guys would mean a lot. See you next time.